So as you can see, our Venus flytrap caught thorny bug. So hopefully he can digest it properly and give him nutrients. So anyway, so today we're gonna discuss about basic care for our Venus flytrap. So it will be a quick video just discussing the basic. So this video is for those beginners and also for those advanced viewers on our YouTube that sometimes we forget to practice the basic. But you know, even me, I also forget those things. That's why I think this video is appropriate for everyone to watch. So first, let's discuss about the growing medium. So growing medium should be, if you're new on carnivorous plants, you need a low nutrient soil. So the best that we already tested both here and abroad is sphagnum moss and perlite. It should be 50-50 mix. You can play a little bit on that, but generally that's the best way to use as a carnivorous plant medium. So it is also important if you're gonna use TDS meter. So while you are washing your medium, you can use those very handy TDS meter to measure the nutrients of the soil that you're using. Because sometimes the medium that we are getting from the store, like in the US, they have a Miracle Grow. Sometimes it has some nutrients in it. So Venus flytrap is very picky when it comes to medium, not compared to Nepenthes. They can tolerate those, but on Venus flytrap, better to stay on sphagnum moss and perlite and low ppm, no, low nutrients medium. So stick on that if you are beginner. And also, when it comes to sunlight or lighting, you can decide whether you grow it indoor or outdoor. But here we're growing it outdoor because here in the Philippines we don't have winter. That's the advantage. But the disadvantage is sometimes it's getting hotter than you want it to be. So it's better if you also have those sphagnum moss for you to have an indication. The sphagnum moss is getting a white or a it's burning. Of course, you need to know that it also affecting your plants. So sunlight, you just need to have at least, for me, you can have a full sun, but make sure that you are monitoring your plants because sometimes there is just right temperature, but the humidity is really low or dry. So that's why we need to monitor our plants if you are just beginning. Even you need to also think about the best sunlight. Maybe it's what I can suggest is put your plants under the shade of a bigger plant so that it will be safer for you to acclimate it when you first get your plants. So slowly acclimate your plants and give them the right sunlight. So it's hard to take care of a plant if you're putting it on the very shady area, like for example indoor without any artificial light. But if you're growing it in the like for example windowsill, I think it can survive, but you need to always check for the plants if it needs extra care. You need to give it to them. And next, we're gonna talk about watering your plants. So the key here is to keep your plants always moist, but not too wet. For example, if you're using water tray method, you need to know that your water tray should dry up after a day or two, and the plants needs to experience drying of their trays, but not on their medium, because you need to keep it moist as always. So, so just keep them moist but not too wet. So let's talk about your planter. you need to choose which best planter. The only thing you need to remember is you need to plant them on a well aerated pot, and also it should be at least on plastic, because if you will use materials like, for example, clay pots and other pots that they have a lot of nutrients, I think your plants will be affected. But you need to remember, keep your setup as basic or as simple as possible. So now, how about fertilizing your carnivorous plant or Venus flytrap? The best way to fertilize or feed your plants is foliar feeding. It's the easiest. But if you want to step an extra mile or put a little more effort on it, you can feed the traps manually. But remember, just to feed the one or two traps, if you have, like, for example, 8 or 10 traps in your plants, don't feed every working traps, because if you feed all of them, the plant will sometimes decline and it will not be Instagrammable. If you take a picture, all your traps will be dark and maybe it's not very photogenic to see. And also, I think it's not that healthy for the plants to be on that form. So they need also a good traps and petioles to have a photosynthesis at least. So I hope you learned something about this video. And giving plants also a good humidity, which also helps, and also giving some live sphagnum moss around the rhizome, it's really a big help, especially if you like to propagate it. And also, speaking of propagation, you need to remember to maintain your plants. When I say maintain your plants, at least take some rhizome, let's say leaf pullings once in a while. Like, for example, 3 to 5 months, take a little leaf pulling for your plants uh, to trigger the growth in your plant. So hopefully you learned something from this video. God bless and bye bye.